Good afternoon, Sunday afternoon basketball here at the Nest at Diamond Valley as sixth place Nunawading Inspectors take on our Diamond Valley Eagles, who are still in last position with the two solitary wins in season 2019. Good afternoon and welcome to the NBL1 and NBL YouTube channel for this afternoon's coverage. I'm Michael Thompson, your lead in commentary of every Diamond Valley game, of course, and my expert normally is Jamie Beaton. Jamie will be joining me a little bit later on in this game, but it's a must-win game for Diamond Valley to try and get themselves off the bottom of the ladder. Nunawading also went down to Ringwood last night, so both teams coming off their first game of the weekend, the double-header, with Diamond Valley going, up to Ballarat to take on the Rush Miners, going down by 16 points last night. Annalie Maley is probably the big loss for the Eagles. She's currently over in Europe competing at the World Uni Games over there. Ali Wilson was the best for the Eagles last night with 14 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists. She missed out on a double-double and a triple-double. There, Hope Turdish next best with 14 points of her own and 6 rebounds. Geraldine McCorkle had probably her best game in Eagles colours this year with 12 points. Meg Kruby with 10 points of her own. Down by 2 half-time. Third quarter proved to be the fader, giving up 30 points in the third to 15. Ultimately, they could not recover. They were 25 from 68 from the field last night, the Eagles against Ballarat. 90 from 40 from the paint and 6 from 28, 21% from deep. They did score 66% from the line. 39 rebounds, 16 assists, 8 steals and 19 turnovers, which has been the killer for the entire season for the Eagles. Look at the Spectres, and they went down to the Ringwood Hawks last night by 5 points, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists to the captain, Rachel Atoniadu, who was absolutely vital for them. Maddie Garrick looked the goods in her Spectres debut after competing in the 3x3 hustle over the course of 2019. She had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. She's staying on the bench today so far for the Spectres, so we're expecting her to come off the bench fit and firing. Maddie Garrick, a lot has said about her over the course of the week as well. NBL1 had a great article about Maddie Garrick and the Spectres looking for a little bit of firepower as they try and ease themselves into playoff contention themselves. As we quickly look as well at the results, as I said last night, Diamond Valley going down to Ballarat 84-68. Ringwood going up against Nunawading 78-73. Few quick NBL news over the course of the weekend. I did speak about this with Elliot Jennings last night at Dandenong Rangers Kilsyth Cobras, that CJ Bruton has joined the Raptors over the Summer League. He's the Bullets assistant, so he's looking at potentially maybe getting some more experience over there, NBA Summer League. Also, Perth Wildcats manager Trevor Gleeson has joined the Indiana Pacers for their Summer League as well. So it's good to see a lot of NBL coaches over the course of during the break here, during the off-season over there, going to the States, learn a lot more about the craft of basketball and see how the Americans do it compared to the Australians. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the NBL in season 2019-2020. We do have the starting five for both sides as well, starting with the Diamond Valley Eagles. So Alex Wilson, who's the standing captain today, she's going to start with Hope Turdish, Meg Kruby, Geraldine McCorkle, and then in the centre, Shelby Sheslick. Whereas, look at the Nunawading Inspectors, you got Rachel Antoniadu, who's starting, Chelsea Delangelo, Rebecca Pizzi, who looks like she's going to be taking on Shelby Sheslick, or maybe even Kathleen Shear. Kira Rowe as well start the five for the Spectres. As I said, Maddie Garrick for the Spectres. She will be starting on the bench as we're about to tip off very, very shortly for the first game of this doubleheader this afternoon between the Spectres and the Eagles. Thank you very much for choosing us as your Sunday afternoon coverage where we are watching around the country. We've also got a few other games that we'll keep our eyes peeled to as well, especially Knox Raiders and the Waverley Falcons, which we'll keep a keen eye on that one. Actually, my mistake, it's Knox, and I've actually written this down somewhere. If not, I'll get it to you very, very shortly. I think Waverley's taking on the Southern Sabres in the 12:30 game, but we've got another game happening as well very, very shortly, as well as we look now about 15 seconds till tip-off here, and Eagles looking to hopefully start the goods here with Sheslick, McCorkle, Krupi, Turdish and Wilson. This is a must-win game for the Eagles to get themselves off the bottom of the ladder. as Jay Beatman will join me very, very shortly. But in other news, breaking news, glad to have my broadcast colleague from last night's Rangers-Cobras game, Elliot Jennings, join me. Hello, Elliot.
Oh, how you going?
Good yourself?
Not too bad. Wasn't expecting to be doing this morning, but yeah, ready to go.
Jumped in the hot seat. You got your notes here too, so if you need anything else, let me know. So we tip off here, starting off with Wilson. Sheslick winning the tip off there for the Eagles. Krupi over to McCorkle early on this one. Talked a little bit about the Spectres last night and just going down to 5 points against the Ringwood Hawks. It's the first foul's been called this game.
It's a little bit of overzealous on the defense right there.
Exactly what the Eagles wanted as well.
It's a nice way to start the game. And
you're putting your faith as well in someone like Hope Turdich, who she's been good this season for the Eagles. 16.4 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, and just assists to her name. Shoots beautifully from the line. As you can see there, gets the first points. Averaging 45% field goals this season. She gets the second as well. So a good start for the Eagles. 2-0 with 9:40 left in the first.
Exactly what they wanted, drawing a foul nice and early. Put some pressure on the defense.
As we see the Spectres. That's Pizzy. She's going to pass off now to number 15, which is Shear. Over the boards, couldn't do so, was Pizzy. And the Eagles are away now through Wilson.
That was great weak side defense coming across.
Just a bit too much on the throw there from Wilson to Turdich, and baseline ball going to the Spectres.
Yeah, it was a bit too much on the pass there, but it was the right idea. Darwin Valley looking the goods early.
Antonia Du, captain, the Spectres. As I said, Maddie Garrick, 3x3 hustle. She's now making her first wave. First points here for the Spectres, not too much. Hit the rim and it's gone out, and that was through Kira Rowe as well. Maddie Garrick staying on the bench for the Spectres this afternoon. We did sing her praises a little bit last night during the Rangers-Cobras game, didn't we, a little bit, Elliot? What she could bring to the Spectres?
Yeah, they were doing pretty well in the background. We're watching the scores, and it was a very tight game.
D'Angelo drawing a foul there. So Eagles committing their first foul.
Both sides showing a lot on defense at the moment.
That was through Sheslick as well, so you got Chelsea D'Angelo shooting from the line. She gets the first. Can't get the second. Get the offensive rebound though. You can reset through D'Angelo. She's going into the paint. She's going to try and finish it off. She can't do so. However, you got Rebecca Pizzy there. And
that was great effort on the offensive boards there. It was similar to what we saw last night in the Dandenong game, where one side just wasn't boxing out and wasn't finishing off the possessions.
Balls with Krupi. 10 points last night for her against Ballarat. Sheslick over to Turdich. So there's about 20 points missing from this Eagles lineup with Annalie Maley gone due to the World Uni Games.
It was a big loss, but it's a great opportunity for her.
Opportunity now for the Spectres to get a three-pointer. They can't do so, and that was through Kira Rowe.
Bit of friendly fire there on the rebound, but it was lucky for Diamond Valley. Again, they're doing really well defensively for most of the shot clock. They're just not quite finishing off by closing out possession.
Still 3-2 in favour of the Spectres. 8 minutes left in the first. Got a big men's game as well. Diamond Valley want to regroup after a heartbreaking 5-point loss to Rushminers last night. That was heartbreaking watching that on the ride home, Elliot.
Well, I'm sure they'll want to make it 1-1 this weekend at least. Try and stay in touch.
Dandenong getting their 8th win of the season last night.
Putting pressure on the teams below them as well for the run to the finals.
Rowe trying to go for 3 there, didn't do so. Good rebound again from Sheslick. Passes over to Wilson, who's captaining this side today. Over to Krupi. Long one as well over at Sheslick. She can use her tree trunk arms. Fortunately, her finish over the course of the season has been that. Balls with D'Angelo. Good bounce pass.
A beautiful backdoor cut there. Diamond Valley just not quite aware, not paying attention. A little bit of miscommunication, but very close game at the start.
Turdich wants to get that in the back of the net, can't do so. Rebound from Shear, and they're away again are the Spectres. Antonio do.
Too easy. The double team didn't quite pay off on the pick and roll, and Nunawading was just able to get an easy layup off it.
7-4. This has been called and foul's been picked up.
That's what Diamond Valley need. You know, they've taken too many jump shots now, attacking the basket, drawing the fouls. So
good work from Shelby Sheslick there. Import.
It was a beautiful move. She spun high, got it right to where she wanted to be, and Nunawading had to foul to stop the easy basket.
She's been good this season, Shelby Sheslick. Still can't get the first on that one.
Her rebounding will be key today. 7.5 rebounds a game.
And she misses both free throws. Eagles can't put anything in the back of the net at the moment. 3-point opportunity there through Maddie Garrick, who's just come onto court. So she's going to be the X factor today after 14 points last night against the Hawks.
Yeah, and it was a bit too easy. Diamond Valley defending really well for the first 20 seconds, and the last couple of seconds are just letting it slip.
Corkle, Turdich to Krupi, back to Wilson. Sheslick trying to use herself as a bit of a decoy there. It worked well.
And again, it's exactly what they want. Getting to the basket, drawing the foul. It's the third time they've been getting fouled while going for a layup. So
A percentage, unfortunately. For Jerry McCorkle.
So be careful with those skip passes. You know, they don't always pay off when you're going over the top of a zone. So sometimes it's better just make that extra pass to the top and then out to the side.
Luckily for Ali Wilson, Maddie Garrick was the last person to touch that ball. Chance now here for the Eagles. Sheslick over to Wilson, to Krupi. 3-point opportunity for Krupi. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Meg Krupi.
And that was amazing ball movement. It was beautiful passing. They didn't settle for a bad shot. Made sure they got the right opportunity.
Oh, she's continuing her good work as well. Scored 10 points last night against the Rush Miners. And what a way to get herself off the board this afternoon with a 3-pointer of her own. Improved in,
that'll only help open up the key as well for the likes of Shazlik out there.
Improved in leaps and bounds as Meg Krupi over the course of this season with the Eagles. McCorkle.
And that's key. I mean, Diamond Valley are a very young side out there. So, you know, while the results may not be going their way, they're definitely getting a lot of improvement out there, a lot of experience, and it'll only be better for their development in the future.
McCorkle, Sheslick, opportunity now. She's got a bit of space, and she can put the Eagles in the lead.
The Eagles are getting what they want inside. It's just about making the right option and taking the right shot.
Maddie Garrick for the Spectres. She'll pass over to Antonio Du. Oh, beautiful stuff from the captain of the Spectres. Puts them back in the lead. As Caleb Brothering team will come on for her first minutes. Ali Wilson coming off for a rest. Lots of work on. Here's Bretherington now. Over to Jerry. To Sheslick. Krupi again. Nice release from Krupi, but Bretherington can put it in the back of the net.
It was a great effort there, just crashing the boards. Luckily, the ball just kind of fell to her lap and she was able to get it right next to the basket. I mean, that's exactly what you want as an offensive player. Easiest points you can get.
15-14. Eagles leading this one by 1 at the moment.
It was a slow start offensively, but things are really starting to crack up right now.
And Antonia Adu again shooting another beautiful 3. She's up to 6 points alongside Pizzi. Turdich, last touch there. Krupi for 3. Hit it well.
She's definitely getting some open looks. So Nunawading have to start paying attention to her, otherwise they're going to be in for a long night if they keep giving those shots up.
Ball now with the captain again, Antonia Adu. And again, she goes up to 8 now for the quarter. And the Spectres have a bit of a handy 4-point lead as we tick into the last 3 minutes here, Elliot.
The offense is really starting to ratchet off both teams here. It's going to be looks like it's going to be a bit of a scoring battle at the moment. I'd like to see who starts defending tight first.
Garrick, long pass over to Pizzi, couldn't do so. Picked up by McCorkle. They're on the run here, the Eagles, through Krupi. Bounce pass over to Bretherington. Sheslick, because he finished off the good work. The foul will be called, though. Good thing for Sheslick is she can go 2 for the line, and good, even better thing for the Eagles is now officially in the bonus for the last 2 minutes and 53 seconds of this game,
exactly.
of this quarter.
All 4 fouls they've drawn have been right at the basket, attacking the basket. So it's a good sign for them to get inside, and shows Nunawading having a few difficulties inside with the defense. So it might be something they can exploit later on. It's really been a tale of 2 different types of basketball. We've got the shooting from Nunawading out there, and then we've got the inside play of Diamond Valley.
Sheslick cuts the margin back to 1. Wonder what Paul Flynn might do with the boards at quarter time. Miss on the second, does Sheslick. Garrick. Very hard to get through Mate Krupi, and Krupi's been drawn for the foul there. I think for Mate Krupi as well, I think she knew it straight away that she'd drawn that foul too. Thank you, it's only a sideline ball for the time being. They can go again. That was Brewster to bring the ball back in. Here is Brewster again. From deep. Couldn't do so. Picked up there by Maddie Garrick. Can Garrick get herself off the board? She can.
And again, Nunawading with the jump shots. They're just finding too much space in the shots. But Diamond Valley are getting all the space inside. So it'll be interesting to see which team can stop the opposition's game plan first.
Bree Gregory out on court now. So is Vasiljevic. Sheslick. Travel being called, unfortunately, on the American.
Unfortunately, lifted a pivot foot. It was a very good move, but yeah, you can't lift that foot once you've established it.
And we did speak about this last night on the coverage too. Difference between the American and the Australian travelling too. Yeah,
the Americans have their 0 step, which is very, very different to a lot of other places in the world. And quite often it's a bit of a period of adjustment. You see it when the imports come in the NBL. They have a few issues with travelling early on.
Oh, beautiful stuff there from Antonia Adu. Good layup there, and has put the Spectres now 5 points in front as we tick into the last 2 minutes of this first. She's up to 10 points too for the game, Rachel Antonia Adu.
Yeah. She's definitely making things happen.
Sheslick, bit off on the shot there. Good intentions. Brewster. And through Antonia Adu, they can reset again. Garrick going for long range, can't do so. Rebound there from Sheslick. Turdich about to come back out on court. Bretherington.
And again, it's the 5th time that they've drawn a foul while getting to the basket. So Nunawading need to try and stop that penetration a bit earlier.
Pushing foul there on Caleb Bretherington. She can go to the line now for 2. Turdich on, Sheslick off. So Turdich to order now for Diamond Valley. And that's Shear's 2nd foul of the game as well. So I take it that she will be coming off for the Spectres.
Maybe something to keep an eye on going further into the game. 2 fouls this early.
Bretherington. on the second. Can get it. Cut it back to 4.
Diamond Valley coming out with a bit of an arrow press at the moment.
Garrick, Brewster, can't do so. Stays with Shear. Back over to Brewster. Beats 2. Offensive rebounds. Can't get anything in the net though. Third time. Can't do so again. Could Diamond Valley scour? They can. Turdich, well done there. Great pressure.
Diamond Valley a bit lucky there though. They gave up a few too many offensive rebounds and shots next to the basket. They were just a bit lucky that Nunawading couldn't make them pay.
3 quick ones there from Nunawading. They couldn't make them pay indeed. That's Jevic over to Turdich. Turdich going to go her own here. Can't get in the back of the net. And they can break away again through Brewster. To Fakalata. Back over to Brewster.
Bit unlucky there, Diamond Valley. Looked like Brewster was a little bit out of control attacking the basket, but she made the referees have to make a decision and got lucky with the call.
Wilson back on, Krupi off. 2 from the line for Brewster. We'll get her stats at quarter time. I'll get you to have a look at them during the break. 5 points now, 24-19. And she can make it 25-19, 6 points, 30 seconds to go. Wilson. Good work there from Turdich to be a bit of a decoy. Give Wilson some space. Turdich now can finish it up.
That was a case of being in the right place at the right time. You know, no one could quite grab the hold of the rebound, just fell into her lap and easy shot.
She was in very good space too there, Hope Turdich in that instance. What can Brewster do here? Last 2 seconds.
Freeing up the ball handler to attack the basket.
And can't do much, can the Spectres, but funny enough, they'll be taking the lead into quarter time here. 25 points to 21. We'll be back in 1 minute's time to sum up that first quarter with my expert, Elliot Jennings. Stick with us. Welcome back to Diamond Valley Stadium. See the Spectres take a 25 points to 21 lead into quarter time. My expert for the women's game this afternoon is my co-commentator from last night's game, and I speak of the one and only Elliot Jennings.
Thank you very much. So we saw quite an offensive first quarter there, 25-21. It's very high scoring. For Diamond Valley, Shelby Cheslick kind of stood out with 9 points, drawing a lot of fouls inside, having a hard time containing her, Nunawading. She also had 4 rebounds, whereas for Nunawading, Rachel Antoniadou had 10 points and hit 2 of 2 from three-point line, so showing she's a bit of a threat out there. And we also had Rachel Kizzy with 6 points and 5 rebounds, also being a bit of a handful inside.
How have you seen Maddie Garrick's game so far?
She's done well. I mean, she's making a lot of things happen. She's not hitting the scoreboard as much as some of the other teammates, but she's definitely making things happen. She's making Diamond Valley respect what she's doing out there. She's attacking the basket, drawing the defense, and kicking it out. So
she was similar to what she was this afternoon. Last night, she did come off the bench for Nunawading in the women's game 2 against the Hawks.
Yeah, had a big game then as well. 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists last night.
D'Angelo with the first 2 points of this second. Turns it into a 6-point lead now in favour of the Spectres. Good long-range shot there from Wilson. Couldn't get on the end of that 3. Brewster. Back to D'Angelo. Over now to Shear.
A bit of miscommunication there. No one quite knew who was supposed to be defending then. So
She up to 4 points now, and kick ball there from the captain, and Diamond Valley's ball.
And the lead's crept out to 8, and Diamond Valley just need to start limiting some of those easy shots for Nunawading. Nunawading were missing a few of them early on. But,
beautiful stuff from Ivana Vasilovic. She can shoot it from there.
Exactly. I mean, and you saw there that early on in the game when Cheslick was drawing all those fouls inside, they're having a hard time. So when she was posting up, when the ball went in, everyone kind of gravitated towards her and opened up the shot outside.
Missed there with Shear. It's over to Turdic. Over to Wilson. Here's Vasilovic. Her brother's playing college ball at the moment over in the United States. Bretherington to Cheslick. Might go herself, turns, spins, twirls, 2 points, Cheslick.
And she's proven to be quite a handful inside. Nunawading just haven't found a way to stop her influence, similar to Booth last night for Kilsyth.
Yeah. Always the tall orders seem to have a bit more reach when it comes to it and finding it a lot easier. And we've seen it, with Booth last night and Cheslick this afternoon.
Yeah, they're just a bit taller, a bit stronger, and they haven't quite found a way to limit the inside influence.
Spectre's drawing a foul there. First foul of this second. And it'll be Brewster. Two points to her name, 2 rebounds so far this afternoon.
She's attacked the basket pretty well and drawn a few fouls, so similar to what Diamond Valley have been doing. Just attacking the basket, getting those fouls called, and helps open up the space for the shooters later on.
31-26, Vasilovic for 3. And I love seeing Ivana do that because she's our long-range shooter, and that's the reason why.
Exactly, and it goes back to the first quarter when Cheslick was inside, creating that space. You saw her at the top of the key there, playing on the elbow, and everyone was gravitating towards her, leaving the shooters wide open.
Vasilovic up to 6 points now. And D'Angelo gets 2 of her own, and she goes up now to 7 points for the game.
Well-defended shot there. It was just a little bit of creative shot-making ability. Sometimes it's all you need.
Krupi to Vasilovic. Over to Wilson. Ivana, 3 for 3, surely. Not this time.
Easiest shot she's had, and it's the one that she misses. Sometimes a bit too much space and gives you too much time to think about it.
D'Angelo over now to Shear. She's been good in the second quarter.
Yeah, she's definitely started off on a bit of a roll, offensively at least.
Cheslick, quick 2 from her.
Getting him right back, and she's not very happy. I think she's calling for a bit of a push-off, but the referee didn't agree.
Interesting that Paul Flynn's keeping Shear out there, even though she's got 2 fouls to her name.
Yeah, I think that if she gets another one this quarter, then she will be sitting for a bit of a breather.
Wilson, long-range pass over to Cheslick, couldn't do so.
A bit lucky that Diamond Valley weren't able to finish that off that time.
Krupi can't believe it.
Yeah, she was very a bit aggressive getting to the ball. It was the right idea trying to crash the glass, but Cheslick should have made that made them finish earlier on. So
that's the second foul of this game too, and you can see it on her face too. She cannot believe it.
Like we said last night, I think players quite often can't believe when there's a foul on them. Sometimes short of drawing blood, they don't think they've touched them. So Diamond Valley playing a bit of a 3-2 zone, trying to mix it up on the shooters. It's a good swap. Seems to be working so far. It's making Nunawading have to attack inside. Good
defending there from Wilson to Cheslick. McCorkle about to come back on for the Eagles in this one. Turdic, because to turn her opponent inside as she can get the 2 points.
A lot of the points from Diamond Valley have come inside in the paint. We've had a couple of threes in this quarter, but outside of that, everything's been right at the basket, through the post. Very old-fashioned basketball.
Garrick to Tony Adu. Long shot there from D'Angelo, couldn't find it. Turdic couldn't keep her hands on it. And the Spectres can reset.
Diamond Valley, unfortunately, stopping each other from getting the rebounds a couple of times.
Turdic a bit too overzealous there next to Brewster, and she draws a foul there.
Might have been a bit too strong, I think. Was pushing enough to try and box out, and unfortunately sent her opponent to the floor.
Ben Allen's turned up. He'll be playing a little bit later this afternoon. Good to see a lot of the Eagles players that turn up to watch the women's games.
I think there's a few of them hiding at the back as well.
Always do.
Slowly.
Similar to the women when they watch the men's game. They normally sit together in a little grandstand over there.
Yeah. Looking a bit like the mop squad.
Yep. Bit more out in full force than the Rangers last night, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Rangers had 2 in the corner, and then they had to have a fill-in at the other end at one point. I mean, maybe that might be the NBL1 team of the future sitting over there with the mops.
100%. Garrick, can she go for 3? She finds the backboard, and that's about it. And Chesley can rebound and get out of there.
That's what's good about the NBL1 is it brings this high-level basketball to some of these younger people that, sometimes the NBL can be a bit expensive for some people, or it might be a bit hard to get to, especially with Friday night basketball. And it's good to have the local high-level competition.
I think Turdich was in the key a bit too long there.
It was an offensive foul.
Offensive foul. And that's Turdich's second foul as well.
Yep. And I think Jonathan Goodman is not happy with that call.
He is not. You'll see over the course of the afternoon, Elliot, that he can get quite animated when it comes to decisions that are a bit questionable at times.
And that's a sign of quite a personable coach. Some players like to see that their coach is there fighting on their behalf, wanting to get their calls the way they want them. Sometimes as a coach, you got to be out there, you got to fight on behalf of your players.
Groupie. Oh.
Tried to walk it off and unfortunately didn't quite go in.
She thought it was going to go in.
Yeah. Trying to be a bit like Nick Young in the NBA.
Deep 2. Can't even get that either. And the ball will go out.
And sometimes you just need to follow your shot. Just take your shot, even if you think it's going in, just start getting in there for the offensive rebound just in case. But it was good confidence shown. She's obviously very confident in her abilities to make those shots. So
10 points last night for the Ballarat against the Ballarat Rush Miners. As we see, quick timeout called. 4:58 left in the second. What have you made both sides so far, Elliot?
It's been quite an offensive battle. Things haven't slowed down since the first quarter. Nunawading, they're getting the shots they want. They're moving the ball pretty well. They're running off screens. They're getting jump shots. They're not able to attack inside, although they have drawn a few fouls this quarter by getting to the basket, and shown by the fact that it's 4-0 in terms of the fouls. But Diamond Valley have stuck around. They attacked the basket. All their points pretty much have come inside, and they're only down by 2 points. Which, if you look at the ladder positions, you've got 6th place versus last. You think, it should be quite a convincing game for Nunawading, but Nunawading showing that, Diamond Valley showing that sometimes ladder position doesn't always show what the team is made of.
And that's a good thing about the Eagles over the course of the season too, in the women's too, is that for a lot of the games they've been in it, it's just their finishing touches have been, it's more their polish that hasn't shone.
Yeah, last night we saw they were close all the way up to half-time. I think they were down by 2 points. Pretty much similar scoreline to what we've got right now, so they're definitely on pace to kind of smash that score, but they're definitely, putting a lot of effort, working hard today. Hopefully they can keep it up for the rest of the game. Sometimes younger players, they work so hard early on, then they start to mentally fatigue, and it can be quite hard. But those sort of the games are the ones that help galvanise the team, help great learning experiences for them. So be good for the future.
Chesley up to 13 points, game high best at the moment.
Diamond Valley still pushing up the court on defence.
Antonia Du, the captain, we saw just right there. She's up to 10 points. She's the best for the Spectres at the moment. And breakaway again.
Cheslick has 13 for Diamond Valley, all inside. They just haven't been able to stop her.
And they find Cheslick. Can she make it 15? Can't that instant.
But again, she's drawing the defense, so everyone is worried about her. She's drawing all the defenders. And that's what you want for Diamond Valley.
Oh, beautiful 3 from Maddie Garrick. She had a bit of space there, a bit of time, and finesse paid off.
That's what Nunawading's been finding, all this space for their shots. They haven't been challenged on too many jumpers. They've just been missing a few. Whereas on the other end, Diamond Valley been getting what they want inside. One of the teams is going to have to mix it up a little bit on defense and stop the other one's game plan.
Diamond Valley got to be a little bit careful with the Spectres in the second quarter because Spectres are in the bonus.
Yep.
Last thing they need is to get them to go to the line, especially when they're trying to fight back here. Vasiljevic again for 3.
Seems to cool off a little bit. I mean, it is pretty cold in the stadium, sitting down for a bit.
It's probably less cold than what it was last night in Danon, that's for sure.
Yeah, less of a breeze too.
See Wayne shorts again too, which is not bad. Not a bad choice.
Well, I'm also playing after the men's game, so I wasn't expecting to commentate today. So, yeah, not quite dressed for this.
Oh, fair enough. Tell Jamie he owes you quite a bit of money. His Krupi goes for 3 here.
Maybe you can take it off my game fee later on.
Done. Get him to pay for it instead.
I think Jonathan Goodman's trying to call for a timeout now.
Yep. Garrick. Going for a 3 of her. Oh, beautiful stuff from Maddie Garrick.
Yeah,
and 3 points means that now It is.
A 7-point game.
Yep,
9-point
10-point game.
A 10-point, yeah. The blink of an eye, the last minute or so, Nunawading have kind of pulled away. They've hit a few shots of lockdown defensively. Diamond Valley have kind of slacked off a little bit. Whether that's just a bit of fatigue after a tough game last night.
And the road trip too, like from here to Ballarat, it's about 2.5 hours too.
Oh, exactly. It's not a short drive. And then by the time they finished the game, it was fairly late. I'm sure they wanted to stay around and support the men and then come back. And it's an early game today, so there's a very small turnaround. And Nunawading played a little bit earlier, so they had that a bit more of an advantage there. So, and it was at home, wasn't it, for Nunawading?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's not a far drive to get here. It's only half an hour up the road. So they've definitely got a minor advantage there, but Diamond Valley definitely still in this game.
Probably about the distance I drove here this morning too. Probably about took me 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's similar for me, about 45. I had to pick up my brother, so.
As you can see, I'm just in my sight line there. You see people in the gym watching a bit of the girls' basketball as they're on the treadmills upstairs.
A bit of a Dikembe Mutombo up there, I see.
Yeah, I was saying, like, that's a retro Hawks jersey, isn't it?
That's very old school.
I like it.
But it's a good little view to have from the gym, and sometimes it might motivate you to work out, seeing some of these guys out there, athletic specimens that we have playing basketball.
Croupy. We see Bree Gregory back on now for the Eagles. McCorkle and Cheslick are probably the two most experienced players out there at the moment, while Wilson, Vasiljevic and Todic are all on the bench. First foul for the Eagles.
And again, it was from attacking the basket, nice and close inside. And Cheslick just getting what she wants non-stop. I mean, she's got 15 points now, and Nunawading have shown nothing to try and stop her.
Maddie Gary picked up that foul there too, by the way. Here she is now on camera. She can't finish, though. Oh, but they might keep possession of the ball here.
That was great effort from Chelsea D'Angelo. She crashed the boards. Even though Diamond Valley had the ball, she reached in, got hold of it, and I think forced the jump ball. And the mop squad in action.
Yep. Know exactly where they need to be.
As opposed to the confusion we had last night at Dandenong.
That took about 3 or 4 minutes too many.
While everyone tried to figure out where exactly they need to wipe the floor.
And a bit of a cheer for the mop squad as well, which is always good.
They need to reset the shot clock.
Yep.
A bit more confusion with the clock, similar to last night, where we had the game clock ahead of the shot clock, but they decided to try and reset it.
That was very weird.
It was. We had a couple of minutes of a delay where the game clock was at 8.7 seconds, shot clock at 9, and the referees were trying to figure out what was going on as well.
Alcoy now had to restart the music too, by the way. Cheslick.
That's why they paid the big money.
Absolutely. Bretherington over to McCorkle. Wasn't thinking three. Over to Bree Gregory. She can keep rebound. Unfortunately, found Maddie Garrick instead. Found a white shirt instead of a red.
And sometimes it's better when the ball's going out under the basket just to let it go. Just give out the possession, get back on D, because you can leave it transition just like that.
And Fella was the last person touching that ball for the Spectres. It's over to Jerry McCorkle. To Gregory. Was trying to find Bretherington. Should have gone for the 2 points herself.
And Izzy Fella just kind of read that pass too easy.
Here's Maddie Garrick. She goes to ground and she'll pick up a foul here.
Took a little bit out of control, but she did get some contact. Sometimes all you need is just a little bit of contact, and if you do fall over, the referees are going to see that and go, well, you put 2 and 2 together.
So 88% from free throws this afternoon for the Spectres.
It's definitely helping to build their advantage, their accuracy.
Gary gets the first there, so that's going to go up by 1 to 89%. And make that 90% now from the line for the Spectres in this game as they lead by 10 with 1:40 left. Croupy to Bretherington.
I mean, just watching this game, it doesn't feel like a 10-point game. Diamond Valley have still stuck around, but they've just had a few too many lapses like that where they just turn the ball over. And Nunawading making them pay now.
In that instant, Shear could not make them pay. Antonia 2 does instead, and the margin now balloons out to 13 points, 48 to 35.
And sometimes that's what happens on an offensive rebound. You know, you work so hard, everyone crashes the ball, tries to get the rebound, it just gets tapped out, and unfortunately can't cover out the shooters quickly enough. and just leaves wide open shooters, as we've seen a couple of times this game. Diamond Valley just need to do a bit of a better job boxing out, trying to get in front position. They're kind of sitting under the ball when it's coming off the ring. Bit of poor positioning, but I'm sure it's something that they'll address and work on later in the game.
I think that's what John Goodman's now working when it comes to the board there.
Yep, looks like he's talking about inside.
You've got better eyesight to that board than what I do. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, so I think he's actually looking for an inbound pass. So trying to talk about getting the ball to the wing and then looking inside, which has worked really well for Diamond Valley tonight. I mean, they've had a bit of a dry spell at the moment, but inside, Sheslick's been pretty much dominant. They've had nothing to stop her. She's having her way as soon as it touches the paint. So I think that's what they're trying to do, is exploit that a bit more.
15, 5 and 1 from Sheslick this afternoon, so good numbers.
Yeah, she's definitely putting up a lot of effort out there. Some of her teammates kind of need to lift to match her, but sometimes, yeah, might be a bit of a slow start.
60% too from the field, too from Shelby Sheslick.
Bit of a blitz on defense there from Nunawading was a bit of a surprise. They kind of sat back, and then as soon as they crossed the halfway line, all rushed at the ball handler.
Foul there from Spectres, and Bretherington drew her foul beautifully. Second foul for the Eagles in this quarter. Corkle, the Sheslick, turns.
Again, just too big, too skilled at the moment. She's doing what she wants. I think that's what Jonathan Goodman was drawing up, just getting the ball into her at the moment, because that's what's working.
Quick three here for the Spectres, and they can get it back easy.
Yeah, and then some. I mean, you give up a 2 at one and you hit a 3 back, you gain the extra point there. Pretty sure Nunawading would be happy with that swap.
Sheslick, Wilson was thinking McCorkle. McCorkle was still screaming for it, thinking we'll go to Sheslick instead because she's closer.
Couldn't quite make it pay, but again, that's exactly what they wanted. A turnover from Nunawading.
Here we go with Turdich. McCorkle for 3. Bit short there on the shots. And Bretherington. And they can get a foul here.
Offensive rebound, run to the basket, gets an easy shot. Unfortunately, Nunawading are a little bit too aggressive on D, and they call for a bit of a reach.
51-37, 24 seconds to go. They can try and cut the margin now.
Yeah, Diamond Valley have been finding it hard to score for the last 5 minutes. They've only had 4 points in the last couple of minutes.
Caleb Bretherington. Good release there. Cuts the margin to 13.
We've got a bit of a visitor back here.
We do. I think I'm going to be taking a breather, and you two are going to go through the halftime stuff, which is good. Ball sticks with Turdich, couldn't do so. And
they get another offensive rebound opportunity. Unfortunately, couldn't quite hold on to it, but if she had it, it would have been an easy layup. Diamond Valley really trying to press up, and I'm not sure if it's working for them, because since they've switched to this, Nunawading have really started to pull away.
D'Angelo. Over back now to Rowe, who scored that last 3 there for the Spectres. Back over to D'Angelo. Time now at 8 seconds. And D'Angelo can go to the line to convert 2.
That's exactly the way that Nunawading wanted to finish the quarter, get some easy points. They've been really good from the free throw line tonight, so they just want to make this count. They're also out-rebounding Diamond Valley pretty comfortably at the moment. Diamond Valley will need to look at that and start boxing out a bit better.
30 rebounds, 18 defensive, 12 offensive, compared to 20 rebounds, 12 defensive, 8 offensive.
Yeah, so we can see that the offensive rebounds, 12 offensive rebounds, is probably a little bit too high in the first half. There might be something they need to just think about at halftime and talk about, getting in front of their opponent. And also start limiting some of these bad passes. I mean, they've had a few where they've just passed it right to Diamond Valley. Ooh.
Imagine if that went in. That would have been a howler from halfway. And as we take a short break here from the Nest here with Diamond Valley, the Spectres putting on 28 points to 17 in that second quarter. And they lead by 15 points, 53 I should say, to 38 in favour of the Nunawading Spectres over the Diamond Valley Eagles. We'll be back very shortly with the halftime show, and Jay Beaton will make an appearance at halftime.
And we're back with a little bit of a halftime show. I've come out of the bar to talk while Michael has a little bit of a rest.
So we got the two experts out tonight.
Yeah, well, at least we actually get a word in edgewise around each other. And neither of us get warnings from the league.
Although I think we might have after Matt Kenyon last night.
Yeah, no, Michael's notorious for that. That.
5 rebounds as well.
Yeah, and Hope's only on 6, but we'll see that jump in the second half.
Yeah, they just need a few more people to kind of help out around them. Outside of those two,
well, my notice from the sideline is we're missing a lot of opportunities to play inside. We have the size advantage, and we're taking shots that could easily just be a looping pass for an easy,
and I think
shot.
Jonathan Goodman was calling for that during the timeouts.
Yeah.
We saw the whiteboard. He was definitely looking for a pass from the wing inside, and I mean, it's just up to the girls now to put it together. And I'm sure it's only 15 points. It's not too big. Just chip away slowly, and we've seen that. We saw it last night. The big lead can get chopped down very, very quickly.
Diamond Valley are a streaky team. They always have been. It has its benefits and its drawbacks. Hopefully the girls can get a couple stops. You're not going to see Alex Wilson go for 0 points for the rest of the game. She's going to nail a couple threes. Ivana's going to get a few more, and we'll go from there.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like they're missing difficult shots. They're getting what they want. It's now just a matter of getting them in. I mean, with 5 minutes to go in that quarter, they had 33 points, and they only scored 5 for the rest of the way, but they're definitely showing that they can score with Nunawading in that first part of that quarter.
Yeah, they just need to start playing inside out rather than outside in. Use the size of Sheslick, use the moves with Hope, and even Brianna Gregory's got a post game. Jerry can do a bit of everything. Maybe isolate her on the high post and see where you can go from there. We've got the size advantage. Let's use
we've
it.
We've definitely seen it. Sheslick's been unstoppable. Like, Nunawading have had no chance of stopping her. She's too big inside. They're throwing a few different looks at her, but she's just getting to the basket and having no issues. So it's up to Nunawading now.
Yeah, she's shooting a good percentage as well, 58%. That's nice to see.
Exactly. I'm sure she'll be pretty happy with that. But yeah, Nunawading just needs someone else to step up. You know, Hope to get a few more.
You mean Diamond Valley?
Diamond Valley, sorry, yeah.
This is why you're only part-time.
Well, I also wasn't ready for this game, so it's a bit of a shock to me.
Yeah, we've had technical issues.
That's
my word for everything nowadays, technical issues.
A training exercise. So,
to be fair, this is sort of a benefit. We actually get time to talk off each other without Michael stealing all the airtime.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure people would like to hear from two people that actually know how to play the game and have a bit of insight.
Hey, Michael's not all that bad.
He was very helpful last night in my first attempt.
We found a mute button for him.
Yeah, I think...
Speaking of Michael, I'm going to hand back over to him.
I think Daniel were trying to mute him last night as well.
Thank you, Jay Beaton, for your expert analysis at halftime. As we come back into this one, halftime here at Diamond Valley Stadium. Scoreline still 53-38. If you've just joined us.
They haven't added a few points during the halftime break, luckily.
Oh, I hope not. Just remember that we've got the men's game on after this one as well, so stick around with us, and we'll also endeavour to get to the other games happening around the traps as well. Elliot Jennings is my expert this afternoon for the women's game, which is always good to have him jumping on board. What the right place at the right time too, you were. He's trying to sing out. You trying to sing out to your brother?
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to come over here. He's still sitting in the stands. We've got a good seat for him over here, and unfortunately he's decided to sit by himself. So trying to get him into the free food zone, really.
As we tick down the last 90 seconds of half-time. You guys had a good chat about how the half went.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we essentially highlighted that Diamond Valley's advantage is inside, and they just need to look at that more often. Nunawading, however, I'm sure they'll be happy to give that up if they're up by 15 points. So their shots are just falling.
Both teams out on court right now. I think you probably got your wish too, did you, Elliot?
Yeah, well, he's finally come on over, so I've told him to come over here. Also means that I get my my phone and food and stuff sitting next to me.
Looking forward to the second half of this one.
I'm sure Diamond Valley will definitely be looking to come back in this one. It's only 15 points. It's not too big. We saw last night in the Dandenong games that the game can switch and momentum can just flick just like that. And Diamond Valley, they've definitely shown that they can score. They're missing a few easy shots, so they've definitely got everything it takes to get back in this game.
We'll quickly look at the starting five for the third quarter, the second half of this one. So you got Tony Adu, the captain, D'Angelo, Rowe, Shear, and Fella. Whereas you got Bretherington, Wilson, Turdich, McCorkle, and Sheslick starting out on court for the Diamond Valley Eagles as both sides make their way back out. It's going to be Kira Rowe to bring the ball back in from the sideline to kick up this second half. Bit of pendulum playing in the background, which I always seem to like as well. So a bit different.
It's almost a bit early for that, I think. It's not even 1 o'clock yet. A bit different to last night where we had a bit of Queen Bee and Riri.
Garrick for three.
Not the start that Diamond Valley would have wanted.
Not at all. Margin now at 18. Garrick with the first three of the second half. First points of this second half to go to the Spectres, and it's 56-38.
And again, she's been showing that all the first half, getting easy shots. That was her 7th attempt from three. It's quite a good volume, and she's made 3 of them. So she's definitely shooting well enough out there that Diamond Valley need to start respecting that shot. And again, they're just giving her a little bit too much space.
And Tony Adu, the captain, easy 2 there.
And it seems that Diamond Valley just haven't quite made the adjustments they need yet. Antonio Du still getting to the basket at will. Maddie Garrick still hitting all the shots that she wants. See how she's closing out now. That's probably what Diamond Valley needs to do back at her. Run her off the three-point line and make her do something else.
McCorkle to Wilson over to Turdich. Might go 2 here, can't do so. Sheslick with the rebounds. Does she pick up the scraps? No, she can't. And D'Angelo gave up a lot of height there.
It was great pressure, but then, they overcommitted on the double there. And unfortunately, D'Angelo's able to chuck it over the top. I think Jonathan Goodman is not happy with the start.
No, he's not, and he called the timeout straight away.
You can see the look of anguish on his face there. I think everything that he might have said to the girls at halftime just hasn't quite sunk in yet.
Nope.
Might need to reinforce the message here. The girls, they looked really good for the first quarter and a half, and they've just kind of slowed down a little bit. They've given up a few too many easy shots this quarter.
Bit of Daft Punk playing in the background now.
They're really getting the rave vibes going.
A lot different, the music from last night.
Should get the glow sticks out and have a bit of a party. Last night was very much a retro disco.
22 points is the margin if you've just joined us. Spectres all on top over the Eagles at this point in time so far in the third quarter. The Eagles trying to find their footing in this one. 17 points is Sheslick. She's the best for the Eagles. Antonia Du and Garrick, 15 points each for the Spectres, are the best for the away team.
Like we said at halftime, with the way that the game is playing out, I'm pretty sure that Nunawading are happy to give up the shots to Sheslick at the moment because no one else is doing anything, and they're coming back the other end, they're hitting threes, and that's why you have a 22-point lead at the moment.
And you see now the men's team departing. They're going to go and set up and get ready. They'll be on court in just over an hour.
Yeah, time to go stretch, warm up, get changed, do whatever you need to do for your pre-game stuff. And now they're throwing a double at Sheslick, which is a good switch up.
Wilson, Bretherington, loses the ball there.
Paul Flynn's definitely made the right changes there. They just threw a double at Sheslick, and she seemed to struggle with it. She couldn't score all of a sudden. And they're now forcing someone else in Diamond Valley to make something happen.
And Wilson's going to have to let that ball go, or she would have been given a backcourt violation. And Tony Adu will pick up the scraps. Good tap there by Turdich. And stolen from D'Angelo on Sheslick, and will make him pay.
And that's just too easy. You've got to limit those backcourt turnovers. It's one thing turning it over in the front court, having the chance to get back, but in the backcourt, if you turn it over, it's as good as done. We saw it last night with Ellie Morgan from Dandenong. She put the pressure up the court, got a few steals, and attacked the basket.
Turdich gets a foul.
It's an N1.
Yep, 2 points will count.
Plus, hopefully get her kick started for today.
Cuts the margin back to 22 points, and let's hope for Turdich to say that she can cut the margin back even more to 21.
I mean, she struggled a little bit early on, but hopefully this is a good sign for her. Nunawading really switching things up by doubling inside. They've seen that Diamond Valley haven't really got the outside shooting at the moment, so they're trying to limit what they do inside.
And Turdage successful on the extra as well. So the margin cut back to 21. This could be the first of something here if they can defend well. Turdage couldn't do so. And again, Pizzi was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, the hand there was in the way, but the ball just kind of fell out to Pizzi and she was able to finish it off. Sometimes it's just what you got to do. If you get that easy shot, just got to make it count. Enjoy the luck and, yeah.
Wetherington couldn't get a shot off there. Shesley can instead. No, she can't. Garrick rebounds over to D'Angelo. Coast-to-coast stuff here from the Spectres. Try to find Pizzi, couldn't do so. And it will be Eagles ball.
Bit of confusion between the referees there as trying to figure out who it was of.
I was thinking it was Eagles ball.
Did look it, but one referee was pretty confident that it was Nunawading ball, but she got overruled by the referee in the right spot.
Turdage can't get the two there, but will clash with Pizzi.
But at least she showed good effort there trying to get on the rebounds. You know, it's one thing that Diamond Valley is struggling with a bit tonight is getting those rebounds, and it was good to see some effort there from Turdage. Yeah, they just need to find something somewhere. They're slowly falling a bit further back, and outside of Shazlik, who hasn't been able to touch the scoreboard this quarter, they just don't really have much else that's easy.
Quick one from Antonia Du.
Mock squad starting to pipe up a bit.
D'Angelo, it's good to hear their voices.
And sometimes it's good for the girls, you know, they get to hear the little cheer squad and gives them a bit of confidence.
Antonia Du made a mill of Wetherington there and puts with a step back and puts the ball in the back of the net.
Antonia Du and Garrick looking a bit unstoppable out there at the moment. And it's hard, when you've got one person that's on fire, it's quite easy to stop them. You just throw your best defender at them, try and double them, get the ball out of their hands, but when there's two of them, you're starting to get limited for opportunities.
Krupi, Vasiljevic, almost a foul there. Late call there from the official.
The foul on the shot. There was definitely a lot of contact. It was surprising that they didn't call the initial contact. But she was able to draw the foul on the shot afterwards.
And it's a pushing foul. Called on Maddie Garrick, so that's her third foul. She'll take a seat.
A couple of the men starting to walk out the back to warm up, I think.
Vasiljevic, she's having a good season so far. Can shoot three-pointers.
She hit a few in the first.
Still average roughly about 4 points a game. Her average might go up because she's on 7 this afternoon.
Yeah, she's almost doubled already. But again, Maddie Garrick just finding all the space that she wants out there. They just need to limit her. Have a bit of a breather at the moment.
Rebounds beautifully there from Turdage.
There's a great box out from Meg Krupi. She managed to just box out someone much bigger than her, got in front, held her space. And that's what Diamond Valley need. They just need to find somebody that's willing to put the body out there. That's too easy.
And Rowe, way too easy there. D'Angelo, good assist. And the margin out, 26 points.
Yeah, Rowe was just able to walk past a couple of Diamond Valley defenders. They all just kind of looked and seemed a bit confused as to whose opponent it was.
And it's been the tale of their season so far too, that they tend to fade out in the third quarter too to the Eagles. And they did last night against the Rush Miners, even though they were pretty much in it for the first half.
Yeah, it was 2 points at halftime, and yeah, the third quarter was the big difference. There's a reason why it's called the Premiership quarter. If you manage to get that big gap in the third quarter, you know, if you have to fight back hard in the final quarter, you wear yourself out and you can't quite finish off the game normally. So
gave up 30 points to their 15 last night in the thirds.
Yeah,
the Eagles did.
Bit disappointing, and unfortunately this quarter is trending similarly. Hopefully they can turn it around though.
15-4 in this quarter so far.
They're just really struggling for offense. They're just not able to get anything easy. I mean, when they do have it, they're trying to force it.
Vasiljevic, oh, beautiful stuff. Good three.
A bit more of that maybe. But again, with Cheslick inside drawing the defenders, that gravity of being big and unstoppable inside leaves the shooters open.
You can definitely rely on someone like a Jerry McCorkle or Vasiljevic to score three there, especially from a long range. And then you leave it to players like Shazlik, even Peterson and Krupi. They can score from inside the key.
Exactly. I mean, it's what we need, what Diamond Valley really need. When they're throwing the ball inside, Nunawading are now double teaming, which will leave someone open. I mean, if you've got two defenders on you, there's always going to be one spare. So they just need to find that extra person once it goes inside.
Brewster, deep two, swish. Margin at 25, 70-45, under 5 minutes to go in the third. John Goodman might call another timeout here with the look on his face.
Yeah, he's not looking particularly happy right now. There's a few things they need to switch up, but I'm sure he's on top of it.
Very good coach. Vasiljevic again.
That's the shot that they wanted. She was definitely lining it up.
Good release. And she's going to take on D'Angelo. And D'Angelo's going to miss, but they might pick it up here through for Carla. Cannot do so.
There's a lot of contact on that. I'm surprised there was no call, but good on Nunawading staying in the play.
And D'Angelo will get the two.
Chaslik is a little bit too aggressive there on D.
And she'll get the extra as well. And she'll go to line. Ooh, D'Angelo. Chelsea D'Angelo on 13 points now for the game.
Yeah, Nunawading had a whole heap of contributors across the board. I mean, you've got D'Angelo and Pizzi both in double figures, as well as Antoniadou and Garrick. So they're finding scoring across the board, whereas Diamond Valley really struggling outside of Chaslik and Vasiljevic.
Chelsea D'Angelo. Can she get the extras? She's averaging 13.5 points per game this season, Chelsea D'Angelo.
Bit of danger signs here for Diamond Valley. It's starting to get a bit too far out.
It's a very uncomfortable lead to be behind.
Yeah, 28 points. It's not easy, although they can score it. We've seen it early on. They were really putting pressure on the scoreboards.
Krupi going inside the key here. Can't get the two. Good rebound by Peterson. Resets. I was going to say for a short time, reset the shot clock to 14, and she loses possession. D'Angelo will make them pay. No, she can't. Vasiljevic, beautiful defensive rebound.
Shots they've missed at the basket. So, again, Nunawading finding what they want, getting to the basket, getting the shots they want.
Krupi, Turdich.
But this is a great development for Diamond Valley. I mean, these young girls are getting this experience. They're seeing how a bigger, stronger, older team. A lot of these girls are quite a few years older, so it's good experience.
And what we've got to realise as well with the Eagles lineup out there too, a lot of these players play youth league as well, so they've already played. They play a few times on the weekend anyway, so their bodies are pretty sore when they get the call up to play. A few minutes in the NBL1.
Exactly, and they're definitely showing something. It's not like they're being completely blown out here.
That was a fantastic block by Jerry McCorkle. Can Krupi make them pay here? She can.
Yeah, so again, they're playing really hard. A lot of these Nunawading girls, like we said, a bit more experienced. So it's good for these younger youth league girls come up, and Diamond Valley's future is very bright here.
Absolutely, and John Goodman's probably he's definitely the right man, I should say, to lead this team forward. He's a very good coach.
Exactly, he's definitely trying new things. It's not like he's sitting there and just happy with what's going on. He's definitely throwing a few different looks out there on defense. He's trying a few things on offense. He understands what's working well and what they need to do. So he's definitely switched on. He's
got the passion too, as he quickly has a chat to Meg Krupi. As D'Angelo again goes to the line for two. And she'll hit the first. Yeah, another danger sign for the Eagles because the Spectres are in the bonus. 75-47 substitution as we see the captain Antoniadou coming on, and D'Angelo is going to take a much well-deserved breather. 21 minutes and 57 seconds on court for 16 points. So she's done her job today.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely putting the effort out there, Nunawading. On defense, they're being quite disciplined.
Vasiljevic.
As soon as we say that, though, they give an open shot. But outside of that, they're not really fouling outside of attacks to the basket. So, they're playing solid D, offensive finding what they want, but Vasiljevic is just getting a few too many open looks at the moment.
Vasiljevic made a meal of that.
Definitely did. She's dining out on those threes.
Here's Shea.
Yeah, Kate Shea getting close to a double-double. Just needs 2 more points. Can get one closer to it here.
Ali Wilson missed out on the triple-double last night. She had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
Yeah, and then in the men's game for Dandenong, we saw Lucas Barker also getting a triple-double watch. Had 22 points, 8 rebounds,
9 rebounds and 10 assists.
Yeah.
I double-checked. I thought it was 8-2, but I double-checked the box score when I got home last night. And they've counted as 22, 9, and 10.
So I'm sure he'll be very disappointed that he couldn't get that extra rebound. Everyone loves the stat count when you're winning.
Vasiljevic couldn't get the 2 there. It's down the last 2 minutes of the third.
You can see some of the Nunawading men in the crowd watching on.
They're getting themselves ready. See Lucas Walker.
Yep, NBL player. A bit of a highlight machine.
Shazlik, McCorkle, another person I can trust to shoot a three. Just not in that instant there.
Wonder if Waxy Walker will be out there trying to put on a show for Josh Sykes. Try and give him a bit of a challenge.
Waiting to see a little bit later for the Logan Hobie show.
Yeah, we saw the Matt Kenyon show last night.
We
Proving
did.
A couple of big jams, a couple of big shots.
He's an exciting machine, Matt Kenyon is.
Definitely is.
And it's a foul, and it's going to go the way of the Eagles. So Shazlik drawing a foul there, and that's the third team foul on the Spectres to the Eagles, and chance now to regroup from this baseline ball.
They're clearing out a lot of space at the wing there. I think they're either trying to create space for Shazlik inside, which is what it looks like. It's good D from Shear though. But you can see what they're trying to do there. They're trying to use the threat of Vasilevich out there on the three to create space for Shazlik.
Here's Turdich, kept her foot in, and gets the two.
It was good D, but just much better offense. She spun around, got where she wanted to, saw the basket, and was close enough to just drop it in gently.
77-52 as we tick down to the last 60 here in the thirds.
And Turdich up to 11, so she's hit doubles.
5 away from foul's been called yet again. I believe that is Turdich's fourth foul, so she will sit out.
Just as she's starting a bit of momentum, so it's a bit disappointing for her, but hopefully she can finish off the game strong in the final quarter.
McCorkle also having a seat as well. See Brotherington back on. And
Shadows returned.
Yep, your Shadows returned. And Bree Gregory has also come back out on court. As Brewster fires on the first. Margin now to 26. It's 27, bang on a minute to go.
And Diamond Valley have been doing a much better job of rebounding this quarter. They haven't lost the rebounding count. They haven't won it, but they're at least keeping it even still at 10. But at least they're getting out there. They're creating a bit of a challenge. They're mixing it up a little bit, making a bit of junk ball. That's what you want to see.
Shazlik can't get there. Make a breakaway again. Vasilevich will pick up that foul there, her first.
Bit too aggressive, but at least trying to put the pressure up the court. Try and mix something up. Try and get something different to happen. I mean, you can't be happy with the status quo, so it's nice for them to try something different. Unfortunately, that also puts Nunawading at the line.
They're in the bonus. 38.7 seconds left, and Brewster put a bit more damage on the score was what she's done in the first. 28 points is the margin now. 80-52.
Referee's found something on the court.
Might need a mop squad.
Yeah, they're too busy clapping over there.
Might get the J squad to do the mop squad stuff.
Pretty sure it's what Dandy were doing last night, so it would be out of the realm of possibility. At least to be doing something finally.
Yep. Stop paying attention to us.
Apparently he's claiming gets the chill, also known as not doing anything.
Here's Brotherington to Shazlik. Tree trunk arms again.
And that's what she was doing early on in the game. It's really what they need to get back to is inside. Shazlik's being unstoppable. She's just too big. And with Hope Turdich struggling a little bit, they might need to look at Shazlik a little bit more.
27 points is the margin. Hopefully cut it back to 26. And Shazlik can reach 20 points for the game.
The first to 20.
She's been great since coming over from the States.
Yeah, she's definitely been what's keeping Diamond Valley in this game so far.
Brotherington, keeping her eyes on Fella. Here's Brewster. Finds Garrick.
It seems to be a good pickup, Maddie Garrick. Definitely coming over from the hustle and really made a bit of an impact. She, in her first game,
15 points.
15 points, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yep.
And today she's definitely looking very strong with 17 points and being a bit of a threat from outside.
And we'll take a very, very short break here. At three-quarter time, the Spectres are in control. They lead 83-55 over Diamond Valley. back to Diamond Valley Stadium. Margin is at 28 points, 83 Spectres, 55 Diamond Valley. Here with the last quarter analysis as we head into the fourth, and that third quarter analysis is my expert this afternoon, Elliot Jennings.
So, I mean, we're looking at the stats right now, and for Diamond Valley, you know, Ivana Veselovic is hitting quite a good percentage from three. She's 4 of 9 at the moment for 13 points. She's been a bit of a bright spot along with Shelby Cheslick, who's got 20 points and 8 rebounds. But the problem is with Shelby, she's a minus 29 while she's out there. So while she's dominating inside, it's not translating to the scoreboard, and Nunawading is still out playing them. Whereas you look at Nunawading, you've got Maddie Garrick and Rachel Antoniodu at 17 points apiece. Chelsea D'Angelo with 16 and 7 rebounds. And then Rachel Pizzi also with 10 points. And then you got Kathleen Shear on 8 points and 11 rebounds. So across the board, this is getting all the contributors, whereas Diamond Valley's only got 1 or 2 really impacting the game.
Massive spread of points from the Spectres this afternoon as we see Shear trying to get through the last of the Diamond Valley defenders. She can't. Great breakaway there from Bretherington. Can she go all the way coast to coast? Stuff there from Bretherington. And that is great stuff. Good stuff there from the Eagles.
Jonathan Goodman imploring his players to get up and start playing full court D, but they're all kind of dropping back, not looking.
And it's the message again not getting through to the girls.
Yeah, and sometimes that just can be a bit of youth. You know, you're too getting into the game. You know, the excitement of the game. They've had a big score. All of a sudden, they started off how they want. So they're just not quite switched on to what's going on around them.
First foul committed, and the frustration you can see is billowing.
Well, if you look at the plus minus for Nunawading, most of the players are in the plus 20. So that's a bit concerning. That, you know, while most of their players have been out there, they've just been dominant.
Who's in the plus for Diamond Valley?
Diamond Valley, there is no one in the plus. We've got Michaela Peterson with -2, who's probably the closest to breaking even. And Alex Wilson on -8. But she hasn't been out there for long, only 13 minutes.
Garrick trying to go for 3 there. Vasilevich could not get hand to ball. Garrick, and again, just shows that she's been a fantastic pickup, and especially as they're about to head into the playoffs to the Spectres, you need someone like a Maddie Garrick to hopefully carry them through and create a few headaches.
Exactly, with that extra player coming in. I mean, we look at Diamond Valley, they are missing Maley out here.
Peterson.
Well, she's definitely eating into that -2, so we'll see how that changes the rest of the game. She's definitely showing good minutes out there. Yeah, Diamond Valley, they're putting in a good effort. I mean, they're missing Annalie Maley at the moment, which is a big loss. She's over playing in the university games now, so that'll be very exciting for her, a good opportunity. But unfortunately means the girls down here are left a bit short-handed.
Saw on her Insta story yesterday that her and her partner were enjoying the sights and sounds of Dubai as they make their way over to Europe, so glad
nice
they're
and warm over there.
Oh, she'd be loving life over there.
I think in winter it gets to 40 degrees, so...
Yeah.
I was over there last year for their summer. It was about 58 degrees outside, and we're like, no, we'll just stay inside, I think.
Yeah, I know you feel too. I was there for a university excursion probably a couple of years ago, Dubai. It's 50 degrees.
Without breaking a sweat.
Exactly. Spend probably a good 5 hours, 6 hours inside Dubai Mall.
Yeah, I think we spent the entire day inside the hotel, just eating. That was just too easy in the offensive rebound, non-boxing out there. I think Shelby Cheslick should have been in front. Instead, she's letting Kate Shear just get the rebounds that she wants.
Flynn and Goodman having a good chat there. Long range here from the Spectres. Couldn't get it in the end.
And again, they're just letting Garrick just shoot at will, and that shot looks beautiful. It's just not quite falling sometimes.
And John Goodman pressing the panic button because Hope Turdich with 4 fouls is about to come back out on court.
Well, it really is the last roll of the dice here. I mean, with 8 minutes to go, they're down by 28. They really, really need to get a go on.
Here's Cheslick. Oh, good little alley-oop there from Shelby Cheslick through the back door. Stems the bleeding just shortly.
But then, unfortunately, she's matched up on Maddie Garrick because of the transition. So, you know, she's just not able to cover her. Beautiful D there, though. Nice recovery from Kayla Bretherington.
Oh, pushed off on Maddie Garrick.
Yeah, Bretherington just extending the arm. You're not allowed to do that, unfortunately.
And the referee was in the right spot, unfortunately. Saw the push off on Maddie Garrick, and
yeah, was it just a little bit too much? You're not allowed to push the arm out there. You can hold the arm in place and use it as a bit of protection, but you can't extend the arm at all. And that's unfortunately what she did.
And it's annoying to be called for an offensive foul too.
Exactly. I mean, they're just starting to get some momentum going. You know, they've made a few big plays. They're getting a bit excited, and then even on defense, they've got a few stops, and just one too many lapses right now.
And Tony Adu failed on the 3-point there.
Cheslick also getting close to a double-double.
Vasilevich.
Bit off target, but good rebounding there. I think that if they give it to Cheslick, that'll be double-double.
Just passing around a little bit. Shot clock now at 8. Turdich needs to shoot. Find the backboard instead.
Yeah, just a bit of a rush shot there. She had a bit more time than she thought.
Here's Vasiljevic. Great stuff there from the Eagles. Ivana, finish off. You deserve it. Oh, and Cheslick couldn't keep her hands on it, unfortunately.
And Vasiljevic definitely going beyond her season average right now.
13 points. She's second.
Yeah, she's tripling her average, I think.
I think she is too. Let's have a quick look at her stats. Yeah, so she's on 3.7, so she's
almost quadrupling.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big game for her, but they've really needed this game from her, so it's good to see.
13-2 and none. She's had 1 steal and had 1 foul to her name this afternoon. So good stats for Ivana.
They just called 3 in the key on Cheslick. She's just spent a bit too much time at the elbow there, foot inside the key. Wasn't able to get anything going, couldn't find anything to get out to, and yeah, the referees were forced to make the call.
She's on 22 and 9, Cheslick.
Cold breeze just drifting through.
Yep.
Must be the arrival of Jamie again.
This was not seen next to the draft of Rangers. Ow. As he kneecaps me.
He's not happy being replaced. He's trying to take his spot back by force.
No, I'll retire.
6:15 left here. 26 points to margin. Chelsea D'Angelo goes to the line.
The gym seems to have been vacated too.
It has. As D'Angelo fires the first shot. Bit off there.
We'll see some substitutions in a second for Diamond Valley. Bretherington and Gregory coming back.
She'll fire in the second, but the sad thing here is, Elliot, the Spectres, yet again, are in the bonus now.
They are, and it's very early. Still 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play. But it looks like Diamond Valley is starting to throw in the towel and taking out Cheslick. Might be just looking to close that bit of momentum, get some game time on some of the younger players.
Well, next week they've got a massive road trip up to Bendigo to take on the Bendigo Braves. Yeah. So, again, another road trip for the Eagles.
Not quite as far as Ballarat, but still quite a journey for them.
And Brie Gregory tussles to get her first 2 points of the game. She had to work hard there.
Much too easy for Kate Shear. I think that's her double-double.
Yeah, Shear now up to 10 points.
Rebounds.
But it's good, though, from the Eagles. And this is what I like to do with Jay as well, generally, when we're in this position, is I always like to look at the positives from the girls' side. And we're looking at the positives right now is that Bretherington's playing well, Peterson's playing well, Brie Gregory's looking a bit more consistent in this last quarter
Cheslick's
as well.
had an amazing game. This is a huge game for her, 22 points and 9 rebounds. She's definitely put in the hard work out there. While the plus-minus may not look like it, she definitely has been working hard. And a lot of these younger girls, they put in the effort, they're just not quite getting reward for effort.
Here's Turdich.
And like we said earlier, they're quite young. This is good experience for them. The more game time they get into themselves and the more experience they get, they got a very bright future.
There's a bit more confidence now on Brie Gregory because she's going to go to the line here for 2 to cut the margin back to 23.
She's definitely looked good since coming on. So, I mean, Jonathan Goodman seems a bit perplexed sometimes as they're coming back. They have a beautiful offensive set, score, get very excited, and then they all run back on D, and he's imploring his girls to get up.
Margin cut to 24 now, 91-67, 5 minutes left in the last. We're going to reset very, very shortly for the men's game. It's our feature match this afternoon.
And you'll get your best mate, Jamie, back.
Yep. I'll get you to jump on with him at halftime to do a halftime show as always. As I said, since you're doing the women's game, you might as well get you to pay for your match later tonight.
Yep, he definitely owes me one filling in for him.
100%. I do agree with that one as Shear puts it in the back of the net easy. John Goodman drops his whiteboard marker on the courts.
Had to wait for the girls to get past to pick it up too. Didn't want to get run over.
And Bretherington.
And again, he's yelling at his girls to stay up, and they're just dropping back. I think they're just not quite paying attention, and they're getting beaten at the court. But that was beautiful recovery there from Kayla Bretherington.
And good thing for Kayla Bretherington, this is now her best game of the season because she's also now reached double digits. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists and 4 steals.
Yeah, she's had a massive quarter. I mean, at three-quarter time, she only had 4 points, 4 rebounds. But she's definitely picking it up and making the most opportunity.
93-69. Looking forward to this one here. 4:23 left. As we look at some of the other stats as well, just team-wise, really quickly too, Elliot. 38 from the line compared to 47%. So 26-68, 33-70. Nunawading just shooting close to above average.
Yeah, I'd say 47% is quite a bit high. I mean, 38% is fairly low. 47 is a bit high. You'd ideally want to be around the middle for both teams. It's kind of showing the game. Nunawading kind of had what they want. They've made the right switches when they've needed to. Thumb and Valley, they started off on fire. They kind of dropped off a little bit late in that second quarter. Weren't able to quite make the changes they needed, and that's why we're in the position we're in. And you look at the three-point shooting as well. They're both at 32%. Both, Ivana Vasilevich has been hitting a few. Maddie Garrick's hit a few.
And I love seeing as well the steals. 12 steals to 10. So they're really working hard defensively this afternoon, the Eagles have.
Exactly. It's not like they're not putting in the effort out there. They're getting steals. They're forcing turnovers. They've had a few turnovers themselves. They're just not able to finish off the possessions. I mean, they're getting out-rebounded by 13. So, Nunawading are closing off the possessions, getting the rebound. And at the other end, they're getting more offensive rebounds. So,
and with a young team like this too, it's just, as we've spoken about over the course of the coverage, it's all about the polish.
Exactly, and we just saw it there. I mean, they defended pretty well around the outside of the key, but, they let, who's that? Kira Rhodes get open under the basket, and then they were just struggling to recover. And unfortunately, I think that's the 5th foul on Kayla Bretherington.
And she will finish.
Unfortunately, she was looking very promising there, and it'll be disappointing into the game for her. She doesn't look very happy with it.
Good stats, though.
Definitely. I mean, it's not fun getting fouled off, especially when you don't think it's a foul. But, she definitely played well. I mean, this final quarter, the first couple of minutes, she really kicked it up, had a couple of points, and definitely been showing effort. Had a nice block just before.
Spent 19 minutes on court, 4 steals, 4 rebounds, 2 assists and 10 points to her game this afternoon.
Exactly. She's definitely put in the hard yard. She's not the only one in foul trouble either. We've got Turdich and Meg Krupi also on 4. So
you've got to be a bit careful now towards the latter part of this game. Turdich.
Sorry, Meg Krupi's fouled out. She's got 5.
Here's Turdich.
Yeah, but that's it for Turdich as well. I think that's her 5th on a bit of a push-off under the basket.
And she cannot believe it again.
Yeah, she's not happy with it, but unfortunately that's what happens when you push the arm out. And we talked about it a bit earlier on. If you extend the arm, it's always going to be offensive foul.
I heard what she said about the referee. I'm not going to repeat what she said, but I'll tell you off when we go off air there.
Yeah, I think all players have been a bit guilty of saying some things to the referees we shouldn't. Normally the referees like to put us in our place with a technical, but I guess at this point of the game, there's no point.
As the spectators, as we try and compose ourselves.
Jonathan Goodman not very happy.
No, he's not.
Nunawading closing in on triple digits. So.
They are. I think that's the last thing the Eagles want, is to let Nunawading score triple digits here.
Beautiful drive from Gregory there.
Now Bree Gregory can hopefully go to the line and finish this off.
Another one who's having an impactful final quarter.
3 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist for her.
Definitely making the most of the opportunity she's gotten. And that's important in a game like this where you're a little bit behind and you get some court time for these younger girls. It's a good chance for them to try new things, show what they've got. And, even though they're last in the ladder, it's good to run into next season, show you that they have what it takes for next season and, get some development out here.
Pearson tried to go with a quick steal there, couldn't do so. Vasilevich can get the rebounds.
Nunawading to put out their 16-year-old Louisa Fakalata. So that's good court time for her as well.
Sheslik, fortunately, couldn't keep the ball in.
She's still missing that 1 rebound for a double-double.
For Carlota. Over now to Brewster. To Fowler. Passed over now to Rowe. Over to Brewster. Brewster sinks in all nets. Margin 29 with 3 minutes to go.
And I'm sure that Don Valley will be hoping to keep Nunawading scoreless for the rest of the game. They don't want them to reach the 100.
Vasilovic over to Gregory. She's going to keep the ball here, and she's going to see 2 points as well. Good endeavour there from Bree Gregory. Up to 5 points now, 5 rebounds, 1 assist for the game. Vasilovic again. She's had a fantastic game, 13 points for her.
So to check where her foot was just then.
Sheslick, again, can use her arms. Couldn't keep control of that one, though.
A bit unlucky because both of her defenders were on the court, so she would have had an easy layup if she had kept control of it.
And foul being called on Geraldine McCorkle.
We can see Nunawading are definitely Diamond Valley definitely doing the right thing. You know, they're playing hard on defense. They're working the ball around on offense. So it's not, while the scoreline does say they're down by 27, it doesn't feel like a 27-point game. It just lacked a little bit of the execution there. But that'll change. They'll get there. They'll have some games where this will happen, some growing pains.
Fakalata will get the first points there. Just to put triple digits on for the Spectres, and she does. I haven't seen much of this here at Diamond Valley State. We haven't seen triple digits this season.
Yeah, it's not very common in the women's game. It's very much more of a technical display as opposed to the athleticism that the men like to put out there. So it's very rare that you see the 100 points. But, that being said, it does happen, and it's definitely a great game to watch.
Fakalata for 3. Sunk that beautifully.
And you might hear the very loud Nunawading bench over there, getting very excited for the young 16-year-old.
The grandstand stood up as well on the left-hand side of us too. Very excited for the youngster. She's up to 5 points now.
Yes, exactly, and this is a good experience for her too. I mean, being so young, getting a chance to play with these bigger girls.
And she's away again.
Yeah, she's had a few points. She's up to 5, isn't she?
Correct. Brewster can't do so. Down to the last minute 20, and it's 32 points the margin. Peterson, Vasilovic, sink another 3 and would have been fantastic. She would have gone up to 16 points for the game.
The Diamond Valley bench are ready to get up for that one.
1:11 left, 32 points the margin, 103-71. We'll get your awards very, very shortly too, Elliot, like last night.
Yep.
Start putting your notes together. And
I am looking very intently at some of these stats.
There's Brewster. Couldn't find it. There was Fella and Vasilovic in the last minute can calm things down a little bit, and they can run the clock down a little bit. So the Spectres will get a victory here at the Nest.
Big confidence building win, especially as they're making their push towards finals. You just want to get as much momentum as you can rolling there, and hopefully for them they can keep this going and make a bit of an imprint.
It's a massive percentage booster for them as well.
Exactly, and Diamond Valley will just want to finish this game out strong. I mean, there's 43 seconds to go. They'll just want to execute down the stretch, have a few good scores, have something to build on for next week.
As Fella goes for the first and hits it. Margin at 33. 104-71. Offensively, to put on a clinic today, Nunawading have.
They have, and Diamond Valley just haven't been able to adjust to any of this. We saw early on both teams were pretty much scoring at will, but from midway through that second quarter, Diamond Valley just was struggling to get the ball in the basket, whereas Nunawading have had no problems at all tonight, as shown by their field goal percentage.
Vasilovic over to McCorkle, to Gregory.
Which is, Bree Gregory's definitely finishing off the game the way you'd want. You know, she's had quite a few attempts at the basket, had a couple of free throws, mixing up in there inside. So it's great for her to come out there and show what the future holds for her.
And that's Rose's fourth foul of the game. Gregory on 5-5-1. She's now on 6-5-1. You are going to have a very hard time to choose the player of the match this afternoon because
Nunawading have been very balanced across the board. There's been quite a few impressive stats, and but I think there's one or two girls that have had a bigger influence on the game than the rest.
Who have you got in mind at the moment out of the two?
Well, I mean, definitely between Maddie Garrick and Antoniodu. I mean, the two of them have been causing everything out there. Their stats were, when the game was in the balance, they were really carrying Nunawading, whereas a few players like Pizzi have come on, had big games. Brewster's made a few things happen. D'Angelo, but some of their points have kind of come when the game was a bit out of touch. So you've got to look at, while stats aren't everything, it's when the stats come. I mean, sometimes you look at players who are scoring big when they're trying to pull away and put a bit more weight in that.
I just see Peterson convert on the first. She was a bit excited too when she drew her foul as well. A bit of a fist pump in the air. Brewster. Pizzi. Last few seconds here, Rowe. Can't do so. Does not matter. A 30-point win here unless Vasiljevic. Very, very close.
I don't think it would have counted either way, but it was a good attempt and it was a good game. Unfortunately, Diamond Valley just weren't able to execute a bit too much.
30-point win here for the Spectres here at the Nest against Diamond Valley Eagles. Before we reset for the men's game, which is about to kick-start in about 25 minutes, quickly, player of the match?
Maddie Garrick. Just had a bigger influence, made things happen. I mean, she's been a great pickup for them. And, just kind of controlled the game a bit too much.
Battle of the sidelines?
I'll definitely say Paul Flynn. Jonathan Goodman was trying his heart out. Some of the girls weren't quite listening, but Paul Flynn made the right adjustments when it was needed. So,
and really quickly, just your thoughts on the entire match as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it really came down to polish. Diamond Valley, they definitely have shown a lot for the future. They just weren't able to execute all the way through on defense and offense. So they'll be a bit disappointed in themselves, but they definitely put in a good effort. And, very exciting for the future.
Thank you so much, Elliot. We'll reset very, very shortly. Jay Ben will join me for the men's game, and Elliot will be back at halftime to do the halftime show with Jay Ben. Stick with us on the NBL1. We'll be back very, very shortly with the main events.